This is a reading for the Taurus collective. So if you have pertinent or significant Taurus energy, maybe you have a Taurus sun, a Taurus moon, a Taurus rising, maybe you have multiple planets in Taurus, maybe you have Taurus in the first house. It's possible to have one sign in the first house and yet your rising be something completely different. Maybe you have a Taurus Venus. Anyway, there's several placements you can have that would be very strong Taurus energy in your natal chart. And so this is a reading for the Taurus collective. Welcome. Taurus, out of all the many messages that are out there to be pulled for you throughout the infinite, just different structure of time. And the one message that I have to share for you right now, if you appreciate my time, Taurus, let me know. Do give me a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, Taurus, let me know in the comments. As this is a reading for the collective, take it as it resonates, Taurus. Just take what fits. Take what resonates to you, with you. I will actually be having a astrological note for Taurus too, for tomorrow, for the collective. Anyway, Taurus, let's go and see what I have for you. A message for Taurus right now. Oops. Hierophant, Taurus. Hierophant is Taurus energy in the major arcana. Hierophant, bottom of a deck energy. Lovers, love. Love with conditions, or love that meets conditions, meets standards, meets what you want, what's needed. You know, priorities or standards or requirements have been set in place in order to be open, in order to trust, in order to believe, in order to be vulnerable. And that's the energy that I have here. Something that you have had in mind, Taurus. Something quite particular that you've had in mind. Coming through now, is it love? We'll find out, Taurus. We'll find out if this is love, but this definitely is meeting an expectation of yours to the standards you want it to be. Meeting an expectation precisely of how you want it to come forth, behave, something around that energy. So Hierophant gets 4 of Wands. It's actually kind of cozy energy. 8 of Swords. Could be unexpected. That's unexpected. Something that no doubt, Taurus, you know that you deserve. Something no doubt, Taurus, that you've been waiting on. But because it hasn't come through yet, Taurus, You haven't been keeping it in the forefront of your priority list. So we'll find out more. Oops. My cards are slippery. I'm actually most curious about this Eight of Swords. So let's start with Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. I have the Star. Strength. Internalizing. Eight of Swords. Clarify. I'm just laughing because eights are numbers of destiny numerically. They're the vibration of destiny. Also, too, you take a star with a vibration of 17. You break that down. That comes down to 8. 4 here with 4 of Wands, the building blocks, one step from destinies of 8, a pivotal step towards your destiny. And then, of course, we have Wheel of Fortune. So, Taurus, what I have here, I just was laughing because all the steps that perhaps you thought were unnecessary or steps that you didn't really see a benefit coming through, you're going to start seeing some puzzle pieces, Gemini, fitting through. Now you're going to start seeing some reasonings. Now you're going to start seeing signs, things fitting together, things that were in front of your face and you just sort of have to clue them in. Some things right now that's around you, Gemini, if you examine them, they're going to go and start lining up in not so subtle ways, Gemini, to what it is you've always been, Gemini, Taurus, Taurus, to what you've always been working on. I just finished a reading for Gemini, which is why I was there saying that. Of course, Eight of Swords is also Gemini energy. If I was to say signs, well, actually, Taurus, I don't have any signs out here as of yet to go and say, nothing so strong to start saying signs yet of other energies. But Taurus, what I have here definitely under Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords here. There's puzzle pieces coming together. There's a path. You are on the right path, the destined path, your overall life path, Taurus. And I feel like there are some not so subtle signs that are yelling at you to pay attention. And it's going to make itself known to you. You're going to start seeing some signs that, yes, you are on the right path. You are where you're supposed to be. Of course, how much more obvious can we get, Taurus, with the fact that we have Hierophant as our main message, Hierophant being Taurus energy. 6 of Wands, Ace of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. Now, as I mentioned before, Taurus, not quite sure still yet if I'm dealing with a love reading or just, as I said before, things coming together. But what I definitely have here is you meeting up, Taurus, with your counterparts. Your soul's journey and not formidable, that's not formulative. The people who meet you and they leave a huge impact. I'm going to say energy, a huge positive impact, Taurus. You have soulmate connections coming up. This reconnecting with soulmate, well, soulmates are definitely not limited to this realm and this time by itself. Can't quite say if this is a new connection or an old connection because, as I said before, it's a soulmate connection that have been waiting to meet, waiting to converge. Anyway, Wheel of Fortune here. Meant to be very shortly, Taurus, you're going to start seeing some very obvious signs of success. I almost feel like these signs of success, though, Taurus, are still going to be a little subtle. You're not actually going to be aware of it until it, I don't know, becomes really super obvious and heavy-handed. But there are definitely signs that have been happening around you all along that you could puzzle out, but you just hasn't occurred to you yet. Little rough there. Taurus, you have a blessing that's making its way towards you. That blessing, Taurus, has been growing in true earth energy slowly. First, it has to go and push out its leaves, Taurus. Push out of the earth after some decent amount of root work was done. And then just a sliver comes up before it can unfurl itself into the gorgeous shapes and colors that we can see. Taurus, all along, you've been growing some pretty deep roots. And with those deep roots, Taurus, that you've been nurturing, something quite beautiful is sprouting right now for you. Taurus, this energy is harsh, painful, and yet successful. Everything you've hoped for, Taurus, you will get. Especially, Taurus, if it revolves around the decency of people who are the ones who will support you unconditionally. Definitely here too, the dance of souls, soul connections, and who, well, I'll just say who you pledge yourself to and who is pledged to you. that is the greatest gift that the universe can give. And that's what is making its way towards you. Anyway, Taurus, you are in the midst of a rather long-term developing blessing. And maybe, Taurus, in that energy, it should have come a lot sooner than how it's manifesting itself now. But all the steps that you've been taking and everything that you've experienced, and yes, Taurus, in this energy, the trust that you've placed into people, the hopes that you had faith from people, and yet were disappointed. You will see that that energy that you put out in love and in support and in honesty was not put out incorrectly or mistakenly. It just built up the foundation, built up the root system for what's going to appear to you, Taurus, soon. So, Taurus, I invite you to right now look at what's going on in your life, around your life, and start noticing the signs, Taurus, that only you as an individual can see. Until next time, bye-bye.